Have you ever caught yourself sitting quietly, maybe sipping your tea or gazing out the window, and suddenly realizing how busy your mind still is? Thoughts bouncing from the past to the future, never quite settling in the now. Even in retirement, when the rush of work and deadlines has slowed down, it seems like the mind doesn't always follow suit. The truth is, stress doesn't magically disappear with age. In fact, for many of us, it simply changes shape. It becomes less about careers and more about health concerns, family changes, or even the simple weight of time itself. And in moments like those, wouldn't it be nice to just breathe? To find even a few minutes of peace that feels like a deep sigh for the soul? That's exactly what mindfulness and meditation can offer. Not as some complicated spiritual practice, but as an incredibly simple and powerful tool that anyone, at any age, can use to feel more calm, centered, and alive. In this video, we're going to explore mindfulness in a way that feels natural and doable, especially if you've never tried it before. These aren't techniques meant only for monks on a mountaintop. These are gentle, everyday practices you can weave into your routine to quiet the mind, lower stress, and reconnect with yourself. You don't need to sit cross-legged or chant anything, unless you want to. This is all about comfort, ease, and creating a little more peace in your daily life. Let's start with something beautifully simple, your breath. You've been breathing your whole life, of course, but have you ever truly paid attention to it? Try this with me right now, just for a few seconds. Inhale slowly through your nose, and now exhale through your mouth. Did you feel that? That little pause where time seemed to soften? That's mindfulness in its purest form. No pressure to clear your mind or do anything perfectly. Just being present with your breath, one moment at a time. You might be surprised by how powerful this one small practice can be. A few mindful breaths before you get out of bed, while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or even during commercials while watching TV, these quiet moments add up. They begin to train the mind to slow down, to notice, to stop racing through every second. And when that happens, stress begins to melt a little. Worry softens. You feel more grounded, less scattered. Now, you might be wondering, isn't it too late to start something like this? Let me assure you, it's never too late. In fact, starting mindfulness later in life often brings deeper benefits. We've lived through so much: joy, loss, change, growth. With that comes a richness, a wisdom that younger folks are still working toward. Mindfulness doesn't ask you to ignore your past or pretend life has been perfect. It simply helps you step into the present with compassion, clarity, and maybe even a little curiosity. Another gentle way to ease into mindfulness is by paying close attention during everyday tasks. Think about when you're washing dishes, folding laundry, or taking a short walk around the yard. These can feel like automatic routines, but they're actually perfect chances to slow down and be present. Next time you wash a dish, feel the warm water on your hands. Listen to the sound of it. Notice the shape of the plate, the scent of the soap. It sounds so small, almost silly, but it brings you back to the here and now. And in that place, the mind begins to rest. Even eating can become a mindfulness practice. Rather than rushing through a meal or watching the news while eating, try taking a few bites in silence. Savor the flavors, the textures. Appreciate the nourishment. Meals then become more than just food. They become grounding, calming experiences that support your whole being, mind, body, and soul. You don't need to carve out an hour or go sit on a cushion to practice mindfulness. In fact, some of the most effective moments happen in just a minute or two. Imagine sitting on your porch and noticing the breeze on your face, or watching the birds hop along the fence. These are invitations to presence, to simply be where you are, exactly as you are. It's also important to know that mindfulness isn't about emptying your mind or forcing yourself to think happy thoughts. It's about becoming aware of whatever is there: joy, sadness, boredom, peace, and learning to meet it with kindness. If your mind wanders, that's perfectly normal. You just notice it and gently come back to the breath, or the sound, or the feeling of your hands resting in your lap. Some people find it helpful to begin with a soft phrase to anchor their attention. Something like, "I am here now," or "This moment is enough." You can even create your own, something that feels like a small encouragement. Whisper it silently as you breathe in and out. Let it be a gentle reminder that you are allowed to rest, to pause, to feel peace. Now that we've dipped our toes into the power of breath and presence, It's time to explore another layer of mindfulness that could deepen your sense of well-being and bring more color to your daily life. This next practice is just as simple and just as transformative. One of the most overlooked ways to bring mindfulness into your life is through sound. Not just music, though that can certainly be a part of it, but the sounds that are already present around you. Maybe it's the hum of the refrigerator, the rustle of trees outside your window, or even the ticking of a clock on the wall. These sounds are always there, yet we often tune them out. But when you choose to listen, really listen, they can become anchors for your attention. Letting your awareness rest gently on sound helps create space between your thoughts and your reactions. It's like letting your mind breathe through your ears, offering a soft, steady place to rest when things feel noisy inside. For some people, sounds from nature, like rainfall or birdsong, work beautifully for this. You might enjoy putting on a gentle audio recording while sitting in a cozy chair with your eyes closed. There's no effort needed, no goal to reach. Just listen. Let the sounds come and go like waves washing over you. There's something deeply soothing about allowing sound to carry your awareness without needing to do anything with it. No judgment, no fixing, just being. And then there's movement. We don't usually think of mindfulness as something you do with your body, but movement can actually deepen your connection to the present. This doesn't have to mean exercise. It can be something as simple as swaying slowly while standing, or lifting your arms gently in rhythm with your breath. Even rocking back and forth in a chair with full awareness of the motion can be a form of meditation. You're bringing attention to how your body feels in space, how your feet press into the ground, how your hands move through the air, how your spine shifts ever so slightly with each motion. This kind of mindful movement can be especially helpful if you find it hard to sit still for long. It gives your energy somewhere to go while still calming the mind. You can even try it while walking slowly down a hallway or across the garden. Focus on how each foot lifts and lands, how your arms swing naturally, how the air brushes your skin. It's not about how far you go. It's about how deeply you notice each step. Another beautiful practice that often surprises people with its power is gratitude. And not just the big things like good health or family, but the tiny, often unnoticed blessings that surround you. Maybe it's the way the sunlight falls on your kitchen table in the morning, or the way your favorite mug fits just right in your hand. Taking a moment each day to silently name one or two of these little joys can gently shift the way you experience life. Gratitude, when done with presence, becomes a form of mindfulness all on its own. It roots you in what is, not what was or what might be. Try this the next time you wake up in the morning, before reaching for your phone or planning out your day. Let your eyes land on something nearby that brings you comfort. It could be a book, a photo, a soft pillow. Allow yourself to truly see it. Not just glance, but notice. And then silently acknowledge it. Let that be your first connection of the day, not to stress or to-do lists, but to appreciation. These small moments set the tone for how we experience everything else. Another technique that often goes overlooked is the power of mindful speaking, and just as importantly, mindful listening. As we age, conversations often shift. Maybe we're speaking more with family, doctors, or close friends. Sometimes we listen out of habit, already planning what to say next. But what would it feel like to slow down during a conversation, to really hear the tone in someone's voice, the pause between their words, the feelings underneath what they're saying? And when you respond, what if your words came from a place of stillness instead of rush? Mindful communication is one of the quietest ways we can nurture both peace and connection. It turns ordinary exchanges into meaningful moments. You might even notice that people start responding differently to you, more openly, more gently, because they feel your presence, not just your words. There's something deeply healing about giving someone your full attention, and something equally healing in receiving it. That sense of being seen and heard doesn't fade with age. In many ways, it becomes more vital. Practicing mindfulness in your conversations brings more than calm. It brings connection, and that kind of closeness nourishes the heart in ways that no medicine ever could. All of these practices, listening to sound, moving with awareness, noticing small blessings, speaking with intention, are invitations. You don't need to master them or do them every day. Just remember they're there, waiting for you like quiet friends. You can turn to them in moments of tension, of loneliness, or even just when the day feels a little too fast. They offer comfort without needing anything in return. As we gently continue, there's one more path we haven't explored yet. It's one that touches not just your thoughts or your body, but your deeper sense of calm and connection. This next step brings a special kind of inner stillness that can truly nourish your well-being from the inside out. The next mindfulness practice I want to explore may seem like it requires a little more commitment, but it's one that can deeply enrich the peace you're cultivating. It's the practice of meditation itself. Now, don't be intimidated. I'm not talking about long hours or complicated techniques. Meditation is, at its core, about sitting quietly and allowing your mind to rest. It's the perfect way to create space between your thoughts and the constant noise of daily life. And while it might sound challenging, especially if you've never done it before, I promise you, even a few minutes a day can work wonders. The key to meditation is starting small. You don't need to sit on the floor, cross-legged, or chant in a special room, unless that feels right for you, of course. You can simply find a comfortable chair or even lie on your bed, close your eyes, and just breathe. Let your body relax, one part at a time, from your toes to your head. Notice how each muscle releases tension without you having to force anything. When your body is settled, turn your attention inward. Focus on your breath, just like we did earlier. If your mind wanders, don't worry. It's completely normal. Gently bring your focus back to your breath without judgment, just noticing the present moment. At first, your mind might seem like a noisy place, and that's okay. With each session, the noise quiets just a little more. And as it does, something magical begins to happen. You become more in tune with the rhythm of your own thoughts. You can observe them without getting swept away by them. You start to notice what triggers stress, what brings joy, and what thoughts don't serve you anymore. This space between you and your thoughts is where true freedom lies. It's where you can start making choices instead of simply reacting to whatever pops up in your mind. Meditation, at its heart, is about awareness. It's about learning to be present with yourself without needing to fix or change anything. Now, as we begin to wind down, I want to touch on one final, incredibly nurturing practice that is deeply intertwined with mindfulness. It's the practice of self-compassion. As we grow older, it's easy to become critical of ourselves. We might look in the mirror and focus on the things we wish were different or dwell on past mistakes. But what if, instead of judgment, we met ourselves with kindness? What if we were able to say, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be where I am right now, doing my best. Self-compassion is about embracing yourself with love and understanding, even when life feels difficult. It's about reminding yourself that you are deserving of peace and kindness, just as much as anyone else. This practice is incredibly powerful for reducing stress and improving mental well-being. And it's so simple. It's the act of offering yourself the same warmth you would offer a dear friend. When you make a mistake, instead of harsh words, try saying to yourself, I'm human. I can learn from this, but I don't need to be hard on myself. Self-compassion helps dissolve feelings of guilt, anxiety, and frustration. It frees you from the constant pressure of needing to be perfect or to always have things figured out. It allows you to move through life with a gentler, more loving approach, knowing that you're doing your best in each moment, just as you are. It's also important to remember that mindfulness and meditation don't need to be big moments of stillness or grand gestures. They can happen in everyday interactions too. When you sit down to talk to a loved one, can you be present with them? When you take a walk, can you appreciate the simplicity of your surroundings? When you drink your cup of tea, can you fully savor that experience without rushing? These small, mindful moments add up, and they slowly shift your entire perspective. They allow you to see beauty and peace in the simplest things. As we bring this journey through mindfulness and meditation to a close, remember that the most important thing is you. There's no rush, no perfect way to practice these techniques. They're meant to enhance your life in the gentlest way possible. Mindfulness is about allowing yourself the space to breathe, to be, to feel, and to experience life exactly as it is, without judgment. It's about stepping out of autopilot mode and reconnecting with yourself, whether you're sitting quietly, walking in nature, or simply appreciating the sound of birdsong. These practices offer a deep well of calm, resilience, and joy that can truly change the way you experience each day. So take your time with this. Start small, be kind to yourself, and remember that mindfulness is a journey, not a destination. It's a practice that will continue to unfold throughout your life, always there when you need it, ready to bring you back to the present moment. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of mindfulness and meditation. I hope these practices help you find moments of peace and joy in your daily life. If you found any of these tips helpful, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment, share your experiences, and remember to take it slow. Your well-being is important, and you deserve to feel peace no matter where you are in life. Here's to embracing each moment with all the love and care you've earned over the years.